What do you do when you just don't enjoy anything anymore? I'm in the same boat at the moment. My current strategy is focusing on feeling again. Feeling warm sun on my skin, tasting new foods and flavors, listening to the birds and to random people walking by in the shops. Looking for new sights and colors and cool things in new places. Focusing on my senses has helped my body get back in touch with my mind, so I'm starting to slowly find joy in the things I used to. One day at a time, I'm getting there, but this is definitely helping. Hope it gets better for you soon, OP. You aren't alone. Something else. Literally. I had a huge gaping hole when my fiancée died, and, after a while, I picked up watercolor art. I sucked at it, but kept at it. I kind of enjoyed it, but quit after a while. When I felt like I was in a loveless marriage, because I felt that my wife loved vodka more than me, I turned to the piano. I enjoyed it, but after 2 years I got tired of it. I'm in a good spot now, still married, and my wife has quit drinking, and I am absolutely in love with woodworking. It's an expensive hobby, but it is so cathartic. Keeping yourself busy and trying new things is a great way to fill yourself with a sense of self-worth. My bad answer: drink. My good answer: exercise. I've been doing both with varying degrees of success. Edit. Thank you for all the awards and great conversation. Makes me realize what I said resonates with many, and it feels good to share a problem or a positive move towards fixing it. I don't know, man, I'm with you though. This year, and every other time in my life that has been hard, I take a lot of comfort in history. It sounds dorky, but it really lifts my spirits. I'll watch historical documentaries, and not only do I learn something, but I realize that for thousands of years, people have struggled just like us. My absolute favorites are the BBC documentaries, where historians live and work as though it's a specific time period. Secrets of the Castle, Tales from the Green Valley, Victorian Farm, etc. I learn about stonemasonry, watch people struggle to bathe sheep, daydream about living in the past. Don't get me wrong, I know living then would suck. I love running water and having the right to vote and not be a man's property. But it reminds me that people have been making it through life for thousands of years. I can do it too. It cheers me up. Set miniature projects for yourself. Don't get upset when you don't complete them. Don't put pressure on yourself to do them. Just give them a shot. Side note. I know it's tough in COVID times, but this sounds like a symptom of depression, and I recommend you get help. Good luck. To stimulate. Sometimes it's a high dopamine tolerance. Retrain brain. Reject human, and go back to monk. It usually happens when I'm depressed. I try to check in with myself about what I need, and go from there. I have to take a rip off the band-aid approach. Just go do something. Cook, clean, fix something, exercise, and just dig around like some fucking frowny-faced archaeologist sifting through your own bullshit trying to find some fleck of shitting joy where you last left it. It's a real war of attrition thing. This is me now. I'm at a point where not only do I not enjoy things anymore, I honestly don't even see the point of enjoyment. Therapy and meds work for some people, hasn't for me. What used to work for me was essentially keeping myself so busy that I didn't have time to think about my feelings, or thoughts like, what's the point of anything? Sometimes I ended up actually enjoying the things, but really just scheduling enough things could be a decent distraction from fully realizing whether or not I was happy. Anyway, that worked for a while for me. COVID kind of killed my momentum on that, unfortunately, but depends on how well remote events can substitute for real life events for you. Something that worked for me is force yourself into getting bored, extremely bored. Sit and do nothing, don't look at your phone, don't watch TV, don't try to sleep, Everything you do after that will be more enjoyable. That could be a symptom of depression. Research depression, and if more of the symptoms seem familiar to you, contact your doctor. If you're in the northern hemisphere, it could be amplified by the seasonal lack of sunlight. I get on Reddit. Keep showing up for the paycheck. I stare at a wall, turn in AC/DC, and try not to hurt myself. I usually get in bed and watch YouTube videos about airplanes, and then make ramen noodles, with slightly less water than I'm supposed to, so it's extra sodiumy. I think extra sodiumy ramen is the most concrete way I can express apathy for life, and a mild dislike of my own physical existence. Asterisk, this too shall pass. Asterisk. I think the older you are, the more you can look back and see the peaks and valleys in life. So when I'm in a valley, I just hang around and give it time, till I get past it and hit the next peak. This might not be helpful at all, so I'm sorry if it's useless advice, but I just do one of my hobbies anyway, even if I really don't want to. A bunch of shit hit the fan for me the last couple months, and I went from running every single day to not running for 2 months. I didn't want to get out of bed, or go to school, or eat, or generally exist, so I certainly didn't want to run, and for a while I just didn't. It probably made it worse, honestly. Monday was the first time in 2 months I went for a run, and I ran every day this week even though I wanted to just go back to bed. Honestly, it sucked at first, and I hated it, but now I kind of actually look forward to running like I used to. So maybe just pick a hobby that you used to really love, and just force yourself to start doing it. Literally just make yourself commit to 5 minutes, and then if you're not into it you can stop, if you want to. Sorry again, if this isn't helpful, but in any case I hope things get better for you soon. Eat and scroll aimlessly through YouTube and Reddit, then sleep as much as possible. Therapy. I was beginning to feel that way about video games. It's the only actual thing I can do out of enjoyment right now, and it was becoming bland. Then an old friend of mine called me and asked if I wanted to join him and some other guys I know in starting a private Minecraft server and going big. I haven't touched that game in years, and now I feel like a little kid when I play it with them. Content, happy, and very nostalgic. I no longer have many highs, just lows or neutrals. Medication does help, but it's like a crutch for a broken leg. You still need to get better, but it saves you during recovery. I quit my job, and luckily was able to move in with my parents again. I'm 23 FYI. Trying to eradicate all unnecessary responsibilities and distractions from my life so that I can focus on my health. Exercise 4+ times a week. Started researching the stock market for fun and fascination. Taking it one day at a time. Eat right. Try to get some sleep. Hydrate. Make sure I have vitamins in my system. Get some sunshine. Stretch. Move my body a bit. Get the fuck off Reddit. Try to remember to take my Adderall. Preferably in the same day, but no one's perfect. Reddit. YouTube. Reddit. Reddit. YouTube. Reddit. Netflix. Reddit. Reddit. YouTube. Reddit. YouTube. Get drunk and play The Sims 4. Use mods that will make my Sims drunk, then just be a horrible overlord lol. Well, personally, I drink a lot, but that's probably not a healthy suggestion. I had a 1-year clinical depression in my 20s, then another 4-year catatonic depression in my 30s. My eyes teared up for having to get up to go pee. When I had appointments I just wanted to die rather than come out from under the blanket. Crippling major depression. What I did to win the epic battle. Talking, friends, and family, to people you feel no pressure talking to. No judgmental or ignorant people. Someone you can vent with, or just stay silently on the phone with. If they haven't at least Googled depression to better understand what you're going through, stop talking to them. It will only cause more anxiety. Therapy! I shopped around for a psychologist who had experience dealing with people from a similar background. Because no one can fully understand unless they've lived through it. I saw 4 psychologists before finding the right one. The conviction in her eyes was extremely intense when I walked in, said I wanted to die unless she could cure whatever was wrong with me, and she replied why yes without any hesitation or doubt. No fucking disclaimer, just a solid why yes. Been seeing her ever since. Don't ever plan on stopping either. Massive amounts of stand-up comedy and movies. Helps with changing your perspective. No, you'd rather die, but try to make healthy meals for yourself, simple salads, pasta, soup, smoothies, etc. And drink lots of water. Exercise! Now this is a hard one. I started by making my bed every day. Then I started walking to the end of the driveway. Then I started walking down the street a bit more every day, like 25 steps more. Do this very gradually until you're doing enough to get some endorphins going, walking fast/long, weightless squats, lunges, dips, push-ups, burpees, sit-ups, etc. The key is to stay consistent and increase your effort so you progress. Rain or shine. Yoga! Being a big tough guy, I always thought yoga was bullshit and a waste of time. Do yoga! Trust me. Not the hot yoga IMO. It's another reason to get out of the house. Everyone is so zen and calm. Healthy energy and vibes. Only positive comes from yoga and was a miraculous revelation for me. Just stick with it. Sleep. I was able to sleep 24/7, but my brain would be stuck on worrying mode, hamster wheel, so I would wake up exhausted. Get some sleeping pills. Zopiclone to fall asleep, and Valium to stay asleep. Meds. In my personal experience, my psychiatrists tried every game changer that exists, from antidepressants to antipsychotics, valproic acid, Latuda and Congentin. The pills just fucked me up for years. Didn't help at all. The only one that gave me a bit of guts between noon and 3 p.m. was Wellbutrin XL 450 mg. In conclusion, you're going to have to fight depression! It's the hardest fight ever. It's full-on war with your brain. But if you follow the plan, you will win and become an incredibly evolved version of yourself. Start with just the smallest achievable goals. Then add to them slowly. Stay far away from drugs and booze. I also recommend doing stuff that evokes emotion and feelings. Videos of puppies or kittens, nature documentaries, sex/masturbation, painting, writing, music. Beating the fuck out of this is your only priority for now. Eliminate everything that's in the way of your recovery.